Hello, what's up, Zach?
You like that, old man? You want a piece of me?
Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
You do? You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
What up, film fans? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to episode 396. Welcome to Kill Bill. You're listening to another new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Juan. I'm joined by the other cast, the other crew, the other hosts. Zach?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Are we excited to be back in Tarantino land?
Tarantino Land, and we're also joined by Keith.
Hi, guys. I am Key Monroe after hours, and I'm tuning in from Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Hey.
There you go.
That part. Y'all definitely picked some pure cinematic chaos tonight, for sure.
That sounds like it's going to be fun. New episode. Thank you guys for joining us. Key, I'm so happy you're sitting here with us on this new episode. I love to talk movies, and I even love to talk movies. The more the merrier. So it is going to be a fun night, fun episode, jam-packed episode for you guys out in podcast land. If you guys are listening to us, you are listening to us wherever you listen to podcasts. iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts by way of the Prescribed Films Network. So we are on the Prescribed Films Network. If you guys want to just go to www.prescribedfilms.com, you can find us along with a bunch of other great podcasts on that network as well. And if you're watching us live on facebook.com/the Cine-Men Movie Podcast, or you're watching us on Imisawa Productions YouTube channel. So we are getting ready to get settled in. We have some recent watches that we're going to get to you as well. But if you guys did not join us last week we talked and had a very good in-depth conversation about American History X. Zach, I believe that was like your second time watch, as is Kill Bill today is going to be your second time watch as well. So go back and listen to that episode last week. Should be fun. So, Key, we're going to get ready to get into some recent watches. And this is a pretty fun conversation. Anything that you've kind of checked out over the last 7 to a few weeks? Whether it be old, whether it be new, if you just want to recommend it to the listeners or to any of us, that's kind of what we go over. So if you want to start us off, how does that sound?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that sounds cool. So I just ended up reviewing today Her. I know you guys remember Her. Most definitely. It's like, would you really pick an AI person over a human being? I don't know. He didn't have the commitment for the real thing, so he said, hey, where's my phone? So I was reviewing that, and also Westworld. I've started getting into that a little bit, for sure.
The
Yeah,
TV show
really
or the
excited.
original film?
The TV show.
Nice.
Yes, the TV show. Westworld is definitely going up right now. And then pretty much just a lot of my AI movies, like I did Ex Machina. I even found out today that Disney Channel ended up doing something called How to Build a Better Boy. And, right now, with me building my own original series called The Dream Man Formula, which is pretty much an AI series building a man, I just think it's just something. So that's my week right now.
That sounds like a good week and a fun week. And you know what? That's so interesting about AI. I feel like we're down that road where it's going to be just a matter of time of AI or human. Which one do you want to choose to
I'm
hang out with?
telling you. Which
Uh,
one? Which
I
one?
have some questions for you a little bit later on about your show and about your reviews, but
Okay.
I'll go through mine real quick. It won't be too fast or won't be too long. I started off the
Okay.
week with Baby Boy. That was getting a Criterion release this week, and I'm like, man, I cannot wait for the Criterion. I checked it out on Hulu. I have to watch Baby Boy. Very good, very very good watch. I highly recommend it. I've seen it before, but since we've been doing the podcast, we have this thing where we have the podcast goggles on, and it's like I haven't seen this
Okay.
since we've been reviewing movies, and it was a really good watch. I also checked out Is This Thing On?
Oh, what do you
The
think?
the,
Okay.
Bra- the Bradley Cooper movie that's also on Hulu. I liked it a lot.
Mm.
Uh, I didn't think I was gonna like it. I was actually like kind of just dreading the watch because it was like 2 hours and 15 minutes, but it ended up being a very fun watch. That's on Hulu as well. Netflix. I went and
Okay.
checked out the Hogan Real American documentary. You know, I'm a
I know
wrestler.
you did. I know you did.
I had to. You know, with not being. I don't necessarily like a lot of the things he did personally, and I didn't realize how big of a druggie he was. But it was a very, Netflix and sports. It was a very well still put together documentary. Um, Rewatched Selena. That was a really good watch. For some reason, I got into a '90s kick after that. I watched Free Willy 1 and 2, Kill Bill for today's episode, The Menu, and then Primate. I checked out Primate finally,
Okay.
And what do
and
you think about
you know, I thought Primate was pretty good.
it?
It's
Yeah.
it got like a 2.6 on Letterboxd, and I was just like, I feel like it was a better creature feature than most. I thought
Mhm.
it was creepy with the way they have an actual human in the monkey suit. And the score. If you guys are out there listening and you guys love horror movies, the score reminded me of an old school Halloween movie, like John Carpenter's Halloween,
Mm.
and I dug it, man. I liked it a lot. So that's my recent watches for the week. If you guys want to follow my recent watches, you can hit us up on the social media, uh, Cinnamon Movie Podcast on the Instagram, facebook.com/the Cinnamon Movie Podcast as well. Zach, what about you? What'd you check out this week?
It was a slower week for me. I did get through. I started randomly. I had seen the first few seasons, but I'm jumping back on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, the original series. It's on
Okay.
Hulu right now, so I'm on season 3. So I'm going to try and knock that out throughout the year. Um, I got back on my Harry Potter kick. I finished reading the 6th book, Half Blood Prince, and I just literally an hour ago just got done watching the film on. It's streaming on HBO Max. I like it a lot more after reading the book. Obviously I knew what was going to happen, but that one was always lower on the totem pole of all the Harry Potter films. But this one I had a lot more appreciation for it after reading the book. And then I haven't finished it, but I'll just go ahead and mention since the second one comes out this Friday, The Devil Wears Prada is streaming on Hulu, the original one. So I'm trying to get through that before going to try and go see the second film. But the main thing, I guess I'll go ahead and do a preview next week. We're talking about Michael. Went and saw it this weekend, and I'm not going to give away. I'm not going to talk about any of my thoughts, but I'll just say it'll be a fun, interesting conversation, especially with biopics and where we stand with them in today's culture. So
Should be interesting. Biopics are always fun. Cannot wait for that one. I got to mention something else too. I stumbled upon it. It may not be a popular show, but I am already done with season 1, and season 2 is like on my mind, and that's Euphoria. Um,
really, okay.
Okay.
yeah, it's a first time watch, and I kind of just stumbled upon it and continuously cannot stop watching it. So, if you guys out there want to recommend anything to us, recent watches has turned into an episode. Some listeners have recommended some stuff, and it's turned into full blown episodes. So hit us up on the social medias, and we will review and always listen and look at your recent watches and recommendations, and we'll check them out. Um, Other than that, I also am today years old when I found out that Quentin Tarantino is doing a new movie that comes out in a few weeks. Did you guys know about
Oh
this?
shoot.
Mm-mm.
No, what new
Is it?
movie?
Let me get on the old Google search, but I didn't know
Look,
that it.
right?
Yeah, I heard it on the radio. They were giving away tickets on the radio, and it's called. I can't find it, but it is
Only
literally.
What We Carry, The Projectionist, The Adventures of Cliff Booth.
That comes out.
See.
That comes out later this year. That's going to be a David Fincher movie.
Okay. Once Upon a
I don't.
Time in Hollywood.
That's his last movie that he did in
That's the
2019.
last one.
It had something to do.
Mm-hmm.
The title was like A Spoonful of Chocolate or something like that. And
Is it like a short film that he did?
I think so, but the radio station today in Oklahoma City was giving away tickets, and I was like, when did he come out with another movie? But it said that it's supposed to be coming out in the next 2 weeks.
I found it. It's A Spoon of
It's called The
Chocolate.
Movie Critic.
That's the one that he's expected. That's going to be supposedly his 10th film. I found the one that he's
10th,
talking
yes.
about. A Spoon of Chocolate. It's directed by RZA. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
I
I
guess
maybe he has like a producer credit on or something.
well, the radio needs to get their stuff together because I'm sitting there listening to this and I'm like, really? The disc jockey had everything completely wrong. They were like, "Oh yeah, the new film by Quentin Tarantino. We're giving away tickets." I'm like, I know this. How have I not heard about Quentin Tarantino in a new movie? So,
Oh, it's just one of those like Quentin Tarantino presents, like how
One
you know
spoon
how
of chocolate.
yeah, you know how Peter Jackson did like Peter Jackson Presents District 9, but he didn't direct it. It's like that.
okay, nice. I think this would be something we have to check out.
I was like, hold on now, we would be all over that if he was coming out with a brand new movie.
Yes. So today we are talking about Kill Bill Volume 1. Currently on IMDb, it is at an 8.2, an 85% on the Rotten Tomato score, a 69% on the Metascore, 4.2 out of 5 on the Letterboxd. With a October 10th, 2003 release date, the budget was $30 million and it grossed a little over $181 million at the box office. 0 nominations for an Oscar, which I'm surprised. After waking up from a 4-year coma, a former assassin wreaks vengeance on the team of assassins who betrayed her, starring Uma Thurman, Daryl Hannah, Lucy Liu, Vivica A. Fox, Michael Madsen, and directed by the great, we'll talk about it, Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino.
Key, we'll start with you. Usually we go around the room and we ask, do you remember the first time you seen Kill Bill Volume 1? What was it like then compared to what was it like revisiting it for today's episode?
Okay. Well, look, I'll let you know right now. Kill Bill, it definitely worked. I feel like because the revenge never felt clean. You know what I mean? It's like everybody in that movie already like emotionally damaged, you know? And just even going back to like the blue leaf scene, it was just like so iconic. I mean, it's giving anime, but like on a human scale, really like impersonal, and like just seeing that cap just split back one more time over Lucy Liu, was still insane to me. I mean, even just the sound effects from the well, going up and down as they're fighting in the snow. Cinematography is on 1,000, for sure. So my first time seeing Kill Bill, OMG, I think I had to be like, OMG, so long ago. I remember 17 for sure. You know what I mean? But like now, just seeing it again, I'm just like, yeah, they did their thing for sure. Yeah. I have more, but I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and get it out too.
I feel that. For me, I'll go next. I remember seeing it when I worked at the video store, and this was one of those movies where everybody was like, "You have to see it. You love Quentin Tarantino." And for the longest time, this has been on the back burner for Quentin Tarantino movies for me. Like, I'll go snatch up Jackie Brown, Django, Pulp Fiction, but this has always been the one that I'm like, you know what? I'm okay. But after this rewatch, I'll get into it. I completely. It's been about 7 years since I've seen this movie, and I'm like, it's been 7 years too long. I thoroughly enjoyed this rewatch for today's episode, so we'll get into it. Zach, what about you?
Yeah, this is my second full time watch seeing it. I saw this first time 8 years ago. I have it in my little handy dandy notebook somewhere between Black Panther. Black Panther came out
Okay.
in about the same couple weeks or same week or two. Yeah, I actually this is one that I just finally caught on Netflix. They had both volume 1 and 2 on there. I'd actually seen my first Tarantino theater experience, oddly enough, was actually Inglorious Bastards, so that was a great experience. I saw Inglorious Bastards, Django, and The Hateful Eight before seeing this actually, but I was kind of like you, Juan, where it's just like it's one of the like I need to get to it, but it just doesn't appeal to me. Maybe the subject matter, or just maybe the tone of it, or whatever. But I know it's classic Tarantino. But the first time I watched it, I was like, man, where have I been? I missed the party this whole time. I felt bad. And the second time I immediately I don't own these two movies, but I immediately just wanted to put in volume 2 after part 1 was done. So it's just yeah. This one is probably, we'll get into it. Maybe he's only done 9 films, so maybe top 5, maybe top 4 for me. So
That's one of the questions I
Yeah.
have down for you guys. Is Zach? You kind of already answered it, but Key, when the movie was over, did you feel like automatically trying to find and stick out Volume 2?
Yes. I was like, let me go ahead and just do volume 3 at the same time right after. Like, let's just go ahead and get them all circulating again. For sure. It's like, it's the feeling that you feel because it's like you still feel sad. It's like, and then most of the time she was quiet, but then there still was something going on. You're still left with like this, it's just like sad.
mhm.
It's sad hurt being displayed, at the same time. Like, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And that's something that I was like kind of interested in getting ready to talk to you guys about today's episode with Kill Bill. Is like I just missed the re-release in theaters where they had
Mhm.
1 and 2 released at the same time, and I'm like, why could I have not been better prepared for this?
I was going to ask Key, did you go see the whole bloody affair, the whole 4 hour edition of it?
Of the bloody affair,
Yeah.
not yet. Not yet. Not yet. But I'm definitely gonna check it out for sure. All your picks, I'm writing it down. So if I haven't caught up, I'll catch up for
I think
sure.
it hits. Actually, I think the whole bloody affair hits Blu-ray. It's either it's yeah. I think it's getting a Blu-ray release here in a couple weeks. So I know Juan over here will snatch it up when he finds it.
Oh, really? So they're
Okay.
releasing them all together at one time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
even back with like Kill Bill though. What is it?
oh no, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, even when like she's winning, like Uma Thurman, it's like that's what I was trying to say. Everything still just feels broken, you
Yeah.
know, like nothing was ever being handled the way you thought it would be. And it's just that House of Blue Leaves for me. I think that was just like my favorite iconic scene out of everything with Kill Bill, you know, for sure. So
Yeah, see,
Tarantino knew what he was doing when he tried to stretch the tension, for sure.
that is for sure, and that's kind of a thing that I had to remember what I was watching was okay. I'm watching the first installment because I did have some small issue, very very small, is nitpicking the whole scene where she's attempting to look for Oren, Lucy Liu's character. I'm like, man, they're
Mm-hmm.
spending so much time on Lucy Liu, and she still has to get through the driver. She still has to get through Michael Madsen. She still has to get through finding Bill. And I'm like, why are they spending so much time on Lucy Liu's character? But I kind of forgot that I was so caught up in the moment, in the movie. I forgot that there's still a whole nother volume 2 to this. Um,
Right.
but when I sat there and I just concentrated on volume 1, you going through the whole fight scene with Vivica A. Fox, which I think is a classic. I think,
Sequence.
yeah, I think you could put that fight sequence up against any action movie or uh,
Yes.
any other movie, and I think it does it holds up very very well.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of
Yeah, I
Vivica
definitely agree.
stint in this?
Oh Lord. Yeah, I mean Vivica A. Fox. I mean, honestly, because like when she was in the kitchen, like the whole house fight,
Mhm.
That's the one that stick out to me because she had the little girl with her. So I'm just like, you don't see that your girl is right here. But it starts brutally immediately. Okay. But then it feels messy, but then it feels real. But it's just two assassins really fighting in a regular suburban home. They took something that's supposed to be like really cool. We have the cereal, this is supposed to be house time and relax time. And then they turned it into like, no, we getting down. We fighting. Okay. Like somebody gotta go.
And they use
So that was
every
too cool.
and they use every object in the house, whether it be knives, pans, the freaking
Yes.
tables, like you said,
Right.
cereal, vases, and it's like you said, it's classic. It's not only classic Tarantino, just the way it's shot and this and the fight sequence choreography in that scene, but it's also classic, like watching these two characters go at it, essentially.
Yeah, they're assassins in a home, a suburban home at that. I'm telling you, it's just like when that little girl walked in, I was just like, what is about to happen? So, and I didn't know who was gonna win, honestly, but I knew it had to be Uma. I knew it had to be Uma. I just didn't know how it was gonna go out.
Yeah,
Yeah, we still had another movie and a half to that we know she's gonna live.
movies
Right.
and movies and scenes like this make me just appreciate how good Vivica A. Fox really is. And you're like, man, I wish she had a little bit more screen time in this movie. But yeah, it's
I
just going.
know.
Her, she's so good, and it's like I kind of don't know when we'll talk about her again. But I
Yeah.
had I had to point that out there. But in classic Tarantino fashion, did you guys like how how he always throws the scenes out at you? How the scenes are kind of mixed, and you'll get some here, some there. Did you guys like that the first time around? Like, or is it something like you're like, it's Tarantino. I kind of don't mind it. Like how the ending is the beginning, or you see the fight with Vivica A. Fox before you see her wake up from the coma, which actually that takes place after she wakes up from the coma.
I do
Sorry.
feel like Tarantino, he made violence like feel artistic without losing the emotion. So I feel like I seen that the first time and the second time, to be honest. I feel like it looked beautiful but disturbing all at the same time.
Yeah,
The,
you know,
the,
I think
um,
it.
I-
No, I just thought it was
go
interesting. I
ahead.
mean, I totally agree with you, Key, and like I think it's interesting that when we get to the big the bride versus the crazy the crazy 88 sequence, he eventually he literally had to make that part of that scene black and white because it was just so over the top, like as you would say, classic Tarantino style bloody violence, that I don't think the MPPA rating was going to be like, no, you either got to cut this out or you got to like cut away from some of those sequences.
Yeah, it was definitely visually intentional. I feel like everything. The soundtrack, I feel like really carried
Hmm.
every emotion perfectly, and then Kill Bill, it just felt like multiple genres blended together. For sure. Definitely. I tell you, like when I watch Kill Bill, I think of anime. I don't know why. It gives me like this graphic novel style type of art piece in my face with some fighting. Some
Well, and
survival.
and it's interesting you bring that up because I mean we literally have a whole anime sequence with Oren's backstory and how she became who she was. And I'll be honest, I'm not an anime person; it's just never really appealed to me. But that sequence is incredibly well done. I mean, besides the
For
violence in
sure.
it, just the emotional nature of like, okay, like you watch that, it's like, okay, that's exactly why Lucy Liu is the way she is.
Yeah. Yeah, my son's into anime. He's trying to bring me in even more. So I'll definitely take a look at it for sure. That can be one of our watches. The anime style. Yeah.
I feel the same way. I'm glad you guys brought that up. I'm the same way. I'm trying to get into some anime. I've been like, where do I start? How do I get into it? Which movie would be the best one to start with? But I'm kind of like you guys. I'm like, man, I can't get into it, but that's a whole nother conversation. The anime
I
sequence
think
in
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop, that's
Yeah,
the one.
Cowboy Bebop.
That's the one that's like half animated and half like real life, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember watching that with my son, something like that. Because it still has like that Kill Bill cool factor to it at the same time. So for sure. What's that attack? Oh, that's it. Attack on Titan. That was
Oh,
the other
Yeah,
one my son was wanting me to watch.
that's
Yeah.
a huge one that people love.
Because it's just
uh,
emotional damage and revenge, pretty
man, that's all you need, right? Emotional damage and
much.
revenge.
And a little bit of revenge. It's like, okay.
Lucy Liu, we can talk about her. I mean, did you guys watch there was like a 40-minute documentary on the Blu-ray? Like ironically, Tarantino saw Shanghai Noon, and that's kind of what's like, oh yeah, we got to get her in my movie. And she had already done up to that point. She'd already done both Charlie's Angels and
Mm-hmm.
Chicago was the year prior. So she had she had made her mark, or she had basically gotten her welcome party in Hollywood at that point.
I gotta
Yeah.
appreciate. I looked at it and was really surprised how this movie wasn't really nominated for anything. But then you got to sit back and look at like, man, Uma's performance was really hands on, like probably the best up to that point as far as just Quentin Tarantino movies in general. And I really appreciated the fact that she had done so groundbreaking performances with whether it's like the scene where she wakes up in the hospital and she's going through uh, the guys wanting to molest and rape her, and that's how she wakes up from her coma.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, that's kind of tough right there.
Mm.
Um, Going all the way down to the garage, and she's trying to move her big pinky toe or her
Mm.
big toe, and it's just like she's playing somebody who's paralyzed at the moment, but yet mentally and in her shape of mind, she's just like go 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 go. So
Yeah.
and then pulling away in that truck, it's just like so many different spots that she's willing to play is just good. I also saw an interview with Quentin Tarantino one time where he was, I guess, this movie was the brainchild before Pulp Fiction, and
He thought of it
Oh,
during Pulp Fiction.
like the scene.
really?
So
Yeah, he worked with on the Blu-ray feature. It talks about how they had him and Oma worked together on Pulp Fiction, and he came up with this idea of like a revenge story, and said, kind of
Mm.
went to Uma and said like, "Hey, I got this idea for you," and things they like it was her idea, Uma's idea, to have her all bloodied and beaten in the wedding dress. That was actually Uma's idea
Yeah.
for the character.
Ah, that's crazy. Yeah, Uma Thurman, I'm trying to tell y'all, she carried the movie just off of pure presence. Like half the time she barely talking and you still felt everything with her. Like that's what I love about her the most. Her facial expressions though, the entire time for me, it really wasn't a facial expression. It was like a just stare. Like,
Mhm.
are you fucking playing with me right now? Like, are you really trying to mess with me? It was so nonchalant though, like at the same time, but it was serious. But it's just like, you think this shit sweet. It was just pure
Well,
presence
and
for
like
sure.
you bring that up, but like I have like two thoughts going on in my head, but to do that one key, when she's just in the back of the car and she's just trying to make her toes move, like that stare is just like, oh wow, she's like judging my soul right now.
Bro,
When she's
I
trying to get her
know.
body back up.
But you can feel her exhaustion. That's when you know you have real great acting skills going on. When you're bleeding through that screen to somebody else out in the world that you're not seeing and they can feel that, that's when you got it.
yeah.
You got it
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, she made it personal. It was definitely
Yeah.
revenge.
And kind of going back to what you said, Juan, about how when she's in the bed and she's almost about to get raped by this really sleazy guy. Tarantino, I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know if I would call it a trope of his, but it's very much a skill of like I'm gonna try and push it to the most I can, and then the heroine or the hero of the story is gonna wake up and take care of it before it gets to that point. Like, I think
Mm.
because he does it in Django, he does it in
Mm-hmm.
The Hateful Eight. He even does it to a certain extent in Once Upon a Time. Oh,
Oh,
when
he,
Leo burns Mikey Madison with the flamethrower.
he also does it really good in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, with is it the Ving Rhames character?
Yeah,
Bruce Willis. Yeah,
no. And I think
And Jackie Brown.
Jackie, I
yeah.
cannot get enough of Jackie Brown. That's the first Tarantino movie I ever seen, and Jackie Brown
Yeah.
will always have a special place in my heart. I'm actually going to get off the episode here today and go in there and watch it.
There you
So
go.
yeah,
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's like one of the most mellowest
it is.
movies I think I've seen.
It's a laid back Tarantino film. It's probably his most laid back he's ever done.
Yeah,
I like, Key, that you brought up about Uma's eyes, because literally in every scene, just to piggyback off of what you brought up, even the scene where the two Japanese guys are going back and forth with Saki and the swords, like even though she's acting like she can't understand them and she can't speak it, but like her tone and her look throughout the whole scene is like she understands what's going on, and
hmm
you get all that without her even saying something. So, speaking of the samurai sword, that was a pretty nice scene down in the basement where you just see all
Hold
those
on,
different.
guys. Having some technical difficulties. Hold on. Let's see.
Oh no,
no, you're good.
that's the best
The
live.
getting the samurai sword is a great sequence. It's nowhere near. I mean, it's a quiet sequence compared to everything else, but it's like a great character moment.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I can't hear y'all.
Oh,
Hold
can you
on.
hear me now?
Let me go to the settings. Audio. Okay, hello?
Can you hear us now?
yeah.
There we go. I'm back. I'm back. Somebody tried
There
to
we
call.
go.
They getting blocked.
Yeah,
No, that's what we were saying. We were like, that's the pleasure of going live. There's no there's no editing these episodes. There's no like going back and cleaning things up. Like what
this
these,
is what it is.
yeah, what listeners are getting us live. So
That's what's up. It's always been in real time, man. We're real people with real
oh yeah,
experiences and real thoughts.
and off the scene filmmaking. Speaking of like Tarantino, is there a thing of being too Tarantino-ish, or is he just like? Are you guys? Can he make certain movies like he used to make today?
Like, do you think he can get this made today? Is that what you're asking?
Not just this, but I'm just talking about like I don't see that many directors now that are in that seat of a Tarantino that can like continue to push boundaries. Even Martin Scorsese, or even some of their films aren't gas full pedal, full foot on the gas pedal. Like I feel like they're still holding back to what they really can do.
I
Um,
I
Tarantino,
just good.
Tarantino, it's been now 7 years since his last film, and I don't know if his next movie he's gonna hold back. There's just not that many directors now that's willing to take a chance like they did back in the day.
I really just think it's because the audience has changed, really. Not that he's gotten worse. I just think the audiences are changing. I think that's for every director. They got to find that approach, find that niche market where
hmm
we at culturally with what we want to see, and still trying to make it a hit. Instead of a song, it's just more so for the movies. Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
think back then people just sat with movies differently, honestly. And now everything is competing with like TikTok and attention spans.
yeah.
So,
That's the
you
perfect.
know.
I I'm not gonna. I think the only director working well. I think Jordan Peele can still do what he wants, depending on what the subject matter is. I think.
Yes.
I think the greatest example is Christopher Nolan. I mean, he's literally going to come out with a
Mm.
sword and sandal movie with the Odyssey this summer. So, whether or not it will make money and it'll probably be well received, it's already like the front runner for Best Picture next year. So, I mean, I think he's pretty much the only one that can say, "Hey, I want to do a biopic of Oppenheimer," and the studio is going to say, "Yeah, here's $200 million." But Tarantino, I think Tarantino still has that effect. I mean, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood made money. I don't know if it's, I don't know. I don't think it's his highest grossing film. I think Django still holds that record. But um, I think people are still interested in seeing what he has, even though you could make an argument it's kind of the same thesis throughout his films to a certain extent. So,
Yeah,
Makes sense.
for sure. David Fincher.
David Fincher, yeah.
Yeah, Fight Club. I mean, come on.
Now, Juan, I know you can go ahead and admit to this. Uma Thurman was in one of your favorite Batman movies, Batman and Robin, before this came out.
You know, I knew somewhere along Batman was going to get brought up, and I have to admit, man, she is the only in a full length feature film. She's the only person, only actress to ever play a live action Poison Ivy, and to this day, knowing how cheesy that movie can be, she's still one of the best parts of that Batman and Robin movie. Her Poison Ivy was on point.
So not George Clooney and the Bat Nips is what you're saying.
You know, George Clooney gets some hate for the Batman.
I like George Clooney, but I just don't like his Batman.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
just
George
being
Clooney,
honest.
too. Yeah, he's super handsome. He's handsome.
So, but yeah, before Key, you had your technical issues. What was your thoughts on the where the bride goes and gets the samurai sword from Hattori Hanzo?
When he said it one more time.
When she goes to Okinawa and gets the samurai sword, what was your
Mhm.
thoughts on that?
Well, honestly, I will say I knew it was about to go down. Because you remember whenever Lucy Liu, when they were fighting, and then once she ended up splitting her wig top, her whole
Mhm.
top head, and she said that really is his sword. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, I just knew it was finna turn up. That's what I knew. That's when I knew it was about to turn up. Cause yeah.
Is it too much of me to sit there and say that the fight sword sequences between Lucy Liu and Uma Thurman, like I had very big Star Wars like thoughts while they were going at it in the snow. I was like, man, these two going back and forth like this reminds me of like Empire Strikes Back, and it almost made me think like,
Right.
did Tarantino have any of that going through his mind with these two going back and forth like that in the snow? Just made me think and made me feel good to know that maybe
Star
Tarantino,
Wars had an influence on this.
yeah, maybe Tarantino was thinking of Darth Vader at the time.
Yeah, I just know I would have died in the first 15 minutes.
No,
15
I
minutes,
mean,
I lasted maybe 2 minutes.
right. I mean,
They would have
I
had to
mean,
catch me. I'm definitely a runner.
right. I mean, the
What is
sequence
she, a
is
trick
really
shot?
it's really cool. I mean, it's shot beautifully, just the snowy background and the garden and everything, and like the background of Japan.
Yeah, for
And I
sure.
like how it's very. They just don't go automatically at it. They just like take their time before she
Hmm.
gets her final kill with the with the head slice.
Yeah, for sure. I'm telling you. Um, do you feel like, okay, how about this? Was the bribe fully justified?
I'm gonna go yes. I mean, the fact that
Okay.
it's been a while since I've seen part volume 2, which I'm sure at some point we'll do an episode on that at some point. I'm sure. Um, from what I remember from volume 2, I mean, she literally, I think she falls in love with Bill. She's pregnant with their child, gets brutally, almost damn near murdered, technically probably did, and she loses her baby. And so I think at that point, almost to become a mother, and that gets taken away from you, I'm sure you would go on a blood-filled revenge streak. You would get
Damn
back at
right.
everyone that did that to you.
Yeah, and but did you feel like the revenge actually healed anybody in that movie?
No, I'll
I don't
go.
think
I'll go
so
first.
either.
Yeah, no, I'll go first by saying I think it's far from over. At least in Volume 1. If we're just talking about Volume 1, I think nothing was justified for her, and I think this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
For sure. And I guess my last question for that is, do you feel like revenge movies glamorize pain?
Ooh,
That's a very tough question. I think most revenge movies, whether it be this or even to a certain extent, at least the first John Wick, because the other ones kind of get into just crazy action sequences. Um, I think there is a part of it that's just you lost something that was near and dear to you, whether it be a child or in John Wick's case a puppy or something that is truly has connection to something that's very personal to your life, and when that gets literally ripped from your soul, you know that's all you can think about, and so that's um it's a very good question, Key. This is why we get special guest appearances. What would be your answer?
Perfect.
I think.
Uh oh
Oh,
yeah.
no. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna
I
agree
think
with.
they do.
Yeah, I was just gonna agree with you and say yes, but they also like revenge movies glorifies trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested in hearing what you had to say about that.
Oh, well, I just feel like it's because of the world that we live in. If we lived in Candyland world and we never had to experience, hurt and pain and feeling like no one understands us, we wouldn't feel the need of watching anything that glamorize anything. It's the fact that we can see that. I think secretly, subconsciously, it's like, yes, they did what I wish I could have did, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
It's like a therapy release with our eyes.
because I think all of us would agree we would all three be dead like in the first. Not even we don't even get the first kill, and we'd be dead like right beforehand.
Yeah. See, I tried to give myself, a little start, like a running start. Maybe I
Yeah,
could have ducked off somewhere through something. Maybe it hit just in the right place. Yes, I just bought me some more time.
A- And
Yeah, it would have been over.
because that's one of those questions too. Like, if you got a round table of friends around you, and you're like, okay, here it is, zombie apocalypse. Are you a fighter, or are you just going to give up?
hmm
Half the
Right.
table is going to be like, I'm just going to give up. I'm not made to run against zombies. So
Mm-hmm. For sure. Hmm.
and I feel like this is like an easy question, but I just want to get your guys' opinion. I was just looking at his filmography. Is this his most violent film? Because look at everything else, it's kind of like there's spurts of like graphic violence, but this is like, I mean, from frame one with the Vivica Fox sequence all the way to at least the end with the first film, it's like nonstop Tarantino violence.
Mm, I do feel like Kill Bill is his most disturbing, honestly. Volume 1 for sure. I do. I mean, because it was blood spraying everywhere. I mean, she was chopping off feet, y'all. Ankles gone. Like, what?
Yeah, that's true.
Anime, from what I've seen, like, they turn up. You guys, I know you play Mortal Kombat. It was like that for me. And then oh, I'm not done. Yeah, crack his neck. Oh, I think it
hmm
is. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, I haven't seen Volume 2
But
10 years. So
really,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I
Because I feel
seen
like
something earlier though.
No, go ahead, Geek. Go
I
ahead.
seen something earlier. Yeah, I seen something earlier with Quentin Tarantino because I was looking at the Kill Bill and I was like, dang, what other movies? So this is a great question, but I think it was called like The Hateful Eight or something like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
went and seen the trailer, and they said that was like a very disturbing Tarantino film for sure. So
That one is much more tamed compared to this. I think the only one that can really like compete against it, just in terms of just like that type of style, his style would probably be Django because the whole shootout in the
oh, yeah,
Candyland house is like full off
yeah,
the walls crazy.
yeah. Okay,
That is true.
okay.
So I want to touch on one more thing. At the end of this movie, you get the whole "the child is still alive" like act,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, I haven't seen part two in a minute. But did you guys see that coming a mile away, or you just like me? I was like, oh, I forgot. Is the child really alive? Let me put in part two.
Yeah, I forgot. That's the main reason. I was like, man, where's volume 2? I need to watch it like right now to see how this thing ends.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But that's what's gonna take that emotional weight with you to make you want to go watch the next one. It's like they gotta have something. They gotta have something.
Yeah.
Volume 2 was only just released like Volume 1 came out October 2003, and then this one was Volume 2 was released 6 months later in April. So it was you didn't have to wait. It's not like Infinity War Endgame. We had to wait a whole year. It was a pretty quick succession of the both.
Yeah, for sure. I do feel like volume one was definitely the rage, and then I feel like volume two was like the emotional consequences
Yeah,
of
I
volume one.
speaking of which, I mean, like I think me and Juan have the same. Like we haven't seen Volume 2 in forever, but I just on memory, I remember Volume 2 being much more tamed. Like you said, it's much more of the drama of the bride and between the bride and Bill.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It was, but still the consequences. But you definitely felt everything through the screen then, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite scene or two that you want to mention and get off your chest before we give this movie a star rating? Zach, we'll go first.
I mean, you can't talk about favorite scenes without the House of Blue Leaves fight sequence. I mean, that's just I think that just takes the cake for the film. But
Yeah.
outside of that, I would say her going to even though maybe people think that the film, the pacing of the movie slows down for some, I just think when she goes to Okinawa and gets the sword, the samurai sword, I thought was great. And of course,
Mm.
Vivica Fox fight is just like, wow, I forgot how much of a badass she is, honestly. So,
Yeah.
what about you guys?
You want to go next?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the buried alive scene, y'all. Like, besides Blue Leaves, because I told you that was like my favorite one, but that was more like my favorite action one. But the one when she was getting buried alive, it made me feel like it was this human feel that I got from that scene, that it was like I felt like I was in the box. Felt like I was trying to figure out how to point up and get out of something, and I'm already claustrophobic. So I'm just like so I think that one has to take the cake for me. Um and I think it was the one with Bill and then the bride conversation. Remember?
Mhm. Where it's like a close up
Yeah,
of Keith Green's face, and he's just you don't get to, he's talking off screen to her.
yeah, because you can feel the love and the manipulation. You can the anger, the regret in just like one conversation. It was definitely all of that. So that was like that human
Nice.
feel again. But me being
Wow.
inside that box, honey, please, that did it.
If I had to pick one, I would probably pick the opening fight sequence. Her and Vivica Fox just steals the show. Her going to Okinawa is always fun. The ending in the snow is just like what a way. Um, what a way to end. But man, this movie just honestly, this might be cliche, but most of the entire movie is a favorite scene. Kill Bill
Yeah,
is just on a whole different level. Like the pacing is just
Yeah,
fantastic.
you're not wrong.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I agree.
Yeah. It's like style became part of the storytelling
Yeah.
Mhm.
the entire time. Yeah.
So star rating for Kill Bill: 1 being an absolute garbage can, 5 being a 5-star classic. Key, you're the guest. By all means, go first. What would you rank, or what would you rate Kill Bill?
4.5. 4.5, baby.
Mm,
Going out strong.
that is strong. I'm gonna go 4.0. I'm gonna go 4, solid 4. I think I could watch this movie. I don't think it could get old, but like I said at the beginning of at the beginning of the episode, my and our star ratings are usually based on like rewatchability, and there's probably about
Okay.
7 different Quentin Tarantino movies that I would probably pick before this one. So that's the only
Mm.
reason I'm not full blown 5, but I'm going to 4. 4 is still a fantastic star rating, still a fantastic movie. So yeah, it looks like this movie's going to get some very good ratings all across the board. Zach.
Yeah, right there with you guys. I'm gonna give it a 4 as well. I kind of jumping off what you said, Juan. I think Hateful Eight and Django are still some of my more. I prefer those films over this one, but on this rewatch, it's up there. Really, maybe Inglorious is really good too. So,
Mm.
probably top 5 for sure. Maybe even top 4. So, it's a fun. It like I said, it made me want to go and rewatch Volume 2, which I'm sure will be on both of our rewatch lists next week. So,
Kill Bill Volume 1 is fantastic. Before we give the floor to Miss Key, I am going to say that this movie is part of our theme. Our theme this year is the IMDb's top 250. This movie comes in ranked at number 152. Kill Bill Volume 1 is ranked 152 out of IMDb's top 250. Um, Key, throughout the year, we're asking the question: does it deserve the ranking? Does it deserve to be higher? Does it deserve to be lower? So, Key, we can start with you. Do you think that 152 is too low, or should it be way way high?
Mm. You said 152?
152 out of 250.
I think I think I think it should be higher on the list. I think it's a little lower for me.
Yeah,
Out of 250, yeah, they could have moved that up a little bit.
yeah,
same. I think it should be at least in the top 100. Um,
Yes.
so I'm right there with you, Zach.
yeah, I agree. Maybe even I'll go a little bit higher. I'll go early '90s, late '80s, somewhere around there.
That's where I was at. Yeah,
Wow.
So, Key, before we get out of
for
here,
sure.
you have your own Insta, your socials, you do your own movie reviews. And one thing I wanted to ask before you let everybody know where they can find you at and what kind of reviews you give, I've noticed in your reviews, you, you go in single handed. And you do all these reviews yourself, and it's just a one man show, the one woman show. Um, and I gotta admit, and I gotta say, and let everybody know, I enjoy your content. You got really good content. I enjoy your stories, your
Oh,
reels.
thank you.
Everything is fantastic. So give it away. Go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you at and what kind of reviews you really do.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you guys can definitely follow me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. Just go to Key Monroe After Hours. Okay. And I'm also building my own sci-fi original series right now called Dream Man Formula. You can catch that as far as like my film notes on Key Monroe After Hours, but if you go to Task, Tend, Creative Studio, you'll see the whole house. It's a production house for Dream Man Formula. Um, Super, super cool. But pretty much what I do is music notes, film notes, any type of reenactment. Um, and everything is like this psychological approach with films and like what sat with me, so it just opens up my genre on a whole nother level because it's all about what I'm doing that week. So yeah, it's a psychological movie commentary through like real life observations, and I just like talking about movies in a way people actually feel them. I like it to relate to real life at the same time. I think that's the whole purpose of a film in the first place. you know um and then yeah, that's pretty much me. Key Monroe After Hours or Task 10 Creative Studio. You'll find me.
For
Nice.
all the listeners and viewers out there, she will definitely be tagged in a bunch of our stuff coming up in the stories and posts like that. So keep an eye out for that. Listen to her. Go check out her content. Very good stuff. About how long have you been pushing out your content now?
So I really started all of this with like Key Monroe, like January of 28th of this year.
Oh yeah.
um, but I ended up getting my original IP series with Dream Man Formula copyrighted and registered last year,
Good.
June 2025. So, but as
Nice.
far as like digital content creation and stuff like that, I've been trying to get with this thing for years. I mean, I can definitely say like the last 8 years, just studying search engine optimization to backlinks to keywords to, you name it. And I think the fact that I'm already a creative, I was on Jerry Springer, I was on Divorce Court, I was on Cutlers, Couples with the Cutlers, I was on all of that. I went to film school, Clayton State University. I've been around, and I just took all of that, my personality, the things that I know, my love for movies, and just made it something. Made it something. And I love AI. I've been messing with AI now for like the last 5 years. And you name it, I've dealt with so many platforms from HeyGen to 11 Labs, Magi, you
Mhm.
name it, I have done it. But what you realize is that once you start creating and you find your niche path, or your lane rather, you find that you only need a good 5 different type of AIs to support whatever you need to do. So it's about using what's going to benefit your content over just everything that comes out. So yeah.
That's good.
Nice. I like
And
how you said that. It's very much a science, and once you get that science down, you can pretty much do play the game really well.
Right. And they're not going to tell you that because they want you to buy and subscribe and,
Exactly.
pay me, pay me, pay me. Like, I think it was this one, I think it's called like Kling or something like that. Some people talk about Claude all the time. Like, if you're using Chat GPT, you do not need Claude. You know what I'm saying? If, you just need to find something that's going to give you the voices that you need, give you the sounds that you need, give you the edits. What editing software? I like CapCut. As crazy that is, as simple as it is, I use CapCut. I used to use, what was that? iMovie. Then I went up to,
Mhm.
dang, it was so many different ones, and they're falling off for me now. I feel like CapCut is keeping up with the times. They're making it quick, and you're exporting, and then you're out the way.
yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I use for the podcast, and it's so easy and it's so fast. Like you said, it's you could throw up one picture and have 4 or 5 of them done in like 10 minutes. You
Yeah.
know, so it's good.
That's
And
it.
like I said, I enjoy listening to you. I enjoy watching your stuff. So continue to keep it on, keep on, as they say. Um,
Keep
and
on keeping on.
you look like you're enjoying it. You do it with a smile. You got a great smile, so keep it up. I can't wait to see what's up next for you. And if so, like the door is wide open. The forbidden door is wide open. Anytime you want to come on and talk movies with us, we will love to have you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. Zach, it was a pleasure. Juan, of course. I'll come back anytime. Anytime.
All right.
Absolutely.
Oh, look, fun fact, guys. This is my first podcast, so hopefully I did great.
Yay.
Oh, first thought, yeah, I would have think that you've been doing this for a while, so I am super
I
stoked
know,
to have you on. So it was definitely a pleasure, and I can't wait to have you.
Nice.
Yeah.
for sure. I appreciate you guys.
So that's it for Kill Bill Volume 1. That's the nail in the coffin. Next week, don't forget, we are going back to the theater. We're talking Michael, the biopic from Michael Jackson, about Michael Jackson. It's currently in theaters now. Go check it out, and we will review and talk about it next week on another new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast.